Only 2 hours from Rome's chaotic tumble of tourists and thousand-year-old monuments is a place almost untouched and surprisingly undiscovered. This is the Italy that's not packaged for tours, but the Italy of everyday life, where life continues at a slow pace. In its hidden towns, its pastoral fields, and its glistening coast, where time-honored traditions and the unspoiled beauty of nature still have the upper hand. In this 3-part adventure, let us take you to the best of Italy you've never seen. This is Abruzzo. Roma, where ancient temples and archaeological wonders can be found amidst ice cream shops and crowds of visitors. It is not called the Eternal City for nothing.
It's nice to be back here in Rome, and to make sure I can come back again, here's my coin that I will throw in the fountain.
Of course, everyone else had the same idea, along with millions of others since this coin-throwing tradition began. But why does everyone wish to come back? For me, Rome's maze of streets is a joy to explore over and over again. Each turn can yield a pleasant surprise, a quiet cafe, an old friend, or a food discovery. Tucked in one corner is a restaurant serving Abruzzese cuisine, which I tried out of curiosity.
Abruzzo is an agricultural area, and most of the ingredients of the food are from their farms and very fresh.
What I liked about the cuisine is how simple it is.
Well, this is a typical Abruzzese pasta. The pork here is not actually bacon, but is from the cheek of the pig. The cheese is also from the province of Abruzzo, so this should be excellent. Let's try this. Nice pasta.
The region is also known for its wine, the famous Montepulciano di Abruzzo, a classic red wine known all over the world. And for the main course, arrosticini.
Well, this is the famous lamb meat, and they have a special way of doing this. Very interesting. I can't stop myself from eating this. Very nice. And this is the typical holder that they use, according to the chef. Very authentic. Lamb chops are my favorite, but I think this is just as good or even better.
Simple yet flavorful, the food was enough to make myself intrigued about the place they originated from.
They say that Abruzzo is the best kept secret of Italy. Maybe I will share this with you in this episode.
Up next, from the busy streets of Rome, I begin my journey to the enigmatic region of Abruzzo, starting in its long coastline facing the Adriatic Sea. From Rome, I take the picturesque 2-hour journey to the region of Abruzzo, said to be Italy's best-kept secret. I will begin in the coastline of Pescara before going up the peaks of Majella and into the hilltop towns of Sulmona, Pacentro, and Scano. I then explore the vineyards near Popoli before driving to Abruzzo's other mountain chain, the Gran Sasso d'Italia, finally making my way to the region's capital, L'Aquila. I decided to begin my journey in its coastal region, hearing about its 130 kilometers of sandy shores and dreaming for myself a sumptuous seafood lunch. Arriving in Pescara, I found a quiet resort town facing the Adriatic Sea. In a striking contrast to the Amalfi Coast, here there are no big tourist buses crowding the tiny roads leading to the beach. Curious wooden structures can be seen along the coastline. This is the Trabocco, an old fishing contraption built over stilts. A winch was heaved around the central post, drawing up a huge net which gave fishermen a safer alternative than going out to sea in bad weather conditions. Today, these are no longer used for fishing, but have been turned into restaurants that serve the best seafood this side of the Adriatic.
Today, I have lunch at a typical Trabocco restaurant. Everything looks interesting and very diverse, and I'm getting hungry. Cheese is also good. Wow, very good flavor. And everything is very fresh.
The menu is based on the seasonal catch, and ingredients are very traditional.
Swordfish with eggplant. Very good. Eggplant is always very nice here in Italy. The shrimp is looking very fresh, and he says it's with curry. This might be my favorite for the day.
And of course, a good serving of pasta.
Bongole with pasta and my favorite, sea mantis. This is great. With a lot of olive oil. Would love this.
This was a great way to begin my exploration of this region. Wanting to understand this unfamiliar region of Italy, I visited the Museo della Gente di Abruzzo in the heart of Pescara. The museum houses a diverse collection of archaeological finds which trace the history of civilization in the region.
Human beings started to inhabit the Abruzzo area during the Paleolithic Age. I think that's about 650,000 years ago.
Succeeding periods saw the introduction of farming and raising livestock with different ancient cultures inhabiting the area. Hunting populations from the south invaded and settled here as well, resulting in an ethnic group called the Italic people, shepherd farmers of a warrior-like nature. These early tribes established the communes that now form modern-day Abruzzo. Around the region's mountainous interior are rocky landscapes shaped by rain and snow, which created an endless number of caves.
These are called the pigeon caves. Very interesting because they were used as a place of shelter during the Neolithic Age, and eventually they were used for rituals to appease Mother Earth. And at the end, they were used by hermits as a place of prayer and a place of religion.
These caves house not only humans, but also culture and spirituality, as well as the endemic wildlife. A large part of the museum tackles Abruzzo's pastoral tradition, particularly the tradition of la transumanza, the seasonal transfer of sheep herds between pastures. Shepherds and sheepdogs herd the flock across mountains, villages, and valleys, creating pathways that would become road networks where trade, interaction, and cultural exchanges happen.
These are the tracks that the shepherds took from Abruzzo to Puglia. And not only did they move the sheep to feed, but they also brought the culture, the tradition, and passed it on to the different towns that they visited.
Traveling on foot by day, the shepherds had to bring food that would last their journey. Hence, a strong cheese-making tradition. And at night, they had to keep watch over the flock. And what's a good way to stay awake? Well, they made art.
It's amazing how artistic the shepherds were. And during the transfer of feeding grounds, which is almost about 6 months, during the stop, they would carve wood. They made musical instruments like a small bagpipe, flutes, and made little artwork of wooden buttons and knives.
Each commune looks incredibly fascinating.
After learning all about the culture, traditions, and the food of the region, I'm now very excited to discover Abruzzo.
Up next, I go to the rocky cliffs and thick forests of the Majella National Park to discover sacred places hidden away for centuries before descending to a sweet little town called Sulmona. I am still exploring the region of Abruzzo, a well-guarded Italian secret that I am slowly starting to uncover. From the coastal town of Pescara, I drive to the interior where the absence of flat land became more apparent. It was a very short distance between the sea and the mountains. This created a unique microclimate in the area that became the ideal habitat for many species of flora and fauna. Abruzzo, in fact, is known as the greenest region in Europe. Half of the region is made up of national parks and nature reserves. And today, I am visiting one of them, the Majella National Park. Though I hope to find some of the elusive endemic species here, like the Marsican brown bear or the Apennine wolf, I chose to instead visit the dwelling place of another elusive species, the monk hermits of the mountains.
In the 8th and 9th century, many monks stayed in the cliffs of Majella to be isolated in prayer.
The Santo Spirito de Majella is the largest hermitage built here, which shows a building almost fused to the rock of the cliff. Its construction is credited to Pietro de Marone, a Benedictine monk who would later become Pope Celestine V and eventually canonized as a saint. Difficult to access and isolated from the world, the cliffs of Majella offered him and his followers solace, being surrounded by vast nature and sustained by natural springs of water. Taking advantage of the natural shelters created by rain and snow, the hermits would carve and build further structures. Images of saints are sculpted on the rock, with kneelers for moments of devotion. This holy staircase is a steep ascent to the top.
After a series of climbing steps carved by the monks in the past, on the top is an oratory dedicated to Mary Magdalene.
Here, private prayers echo in the walls and out into the wilderness. For the monks, Majella is heaven on earth. After that spiritual experience, I went back down to earth for a more corporal one, making my way to the charming town of Sulmona. It's picture perfect from any angle. Framed by imposing mountains to one side and a medieval aqueduct from another. The local market happening in the main square is perhaps the best way to get to know the town.
The Sulmona Saturday Market is the best here in the province of Abruzzo. The local farmers bring their products and all other things that you can get in the area. All the vegetables look very fresh. My favorite are those tomatoes. I think I'll buy one for salad a little bit later. This is the red garlic, only found here in Sulmona, and it's used as a special ingredient for the local food that they have.
I was drawn to the crackling of crispy pork skin.
Renditi porchetta, one of my favorite. Well, there's a long line here every day. It's very interesting. I have to fall in line. I'm number 50. Oh, I'll try it. Thank you. Very crispy. I cannot leave this shop without buying one, and looks very good. The first time I'm eating lechon in bread, but it's perfect.
Sulmona is a town even older than ancient Rome and is recorded as the birthplace of the great Roman poet Ovid. His writings would later influence the work of the greatest writers and artists from Shakespeare, Dante, and Picasso. Walking around the town, you feel as if you've stepped back in time and into a film set of an old Italian movie. Completing the scene would be these colorful storefront displays lining up the streets of Sulmona. But what looks like bouquets of flowers are actually candies. Yes, these displays are all edible. Made of almonds and sugar, these are called confetti, whose origins are said to be traced back to ancient Rome. Small sweets traditionally given to newlyweds for blessings of fertility. Indeed, this is also where the English word confetti came from. Sulmona is where the tradition of making confetti has been kept alive. And I got to visit one of the biggest manufacturers of this colorful candy. Wiliam hails from 6 generations of confetti makers.
Carlo is your
Carlo
grandman?
is my grandfather.
Grandfather side already.
Because my grandfather family produced confetti since 1860.
Okay.
So when my grandfather and my mother get engaged, about in the 1920, their respective families were competitors because there are two established families producing confetti in Sulmona.
This is like Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah, kind, yes. After a period of attention, you can see attention for what would happen.
Yes.
The things went in the right way. They had 8 children.
Okay.
And started the process of fusion of the two companies.
Yes.
Building a new factory, a new building.
Is it this factory already or still different?
The building still exists. Is close to the railway station.
I see. Okay.
It was in 1835.
Wow.
Because in those years, the train was the only way
Center.
to receive raw material and to ship the products. We stayed there until 1999.
1999.
Yes. There are 23 years that we are here.
I see.
Until today, confetti are given as gifts for special occasions. I learned that each color has a specific meaning.
I know that the traditional confetti is white.
The traditional confetti is white because the first product was an almond coated with sugar. In wedding tradition, the color is white.
I see. It's a good gift for wedding.
Yeah.
I see.
The green color is for graduation. In graduation, we have as well the color of the university, because each university has its own color.
I see.
The pink is for the bird, the same for the light blue. Depends
For
on,
boy.
Yes, for boys or for
Male.
girls.
Yes.
And then we have gold and silver. Silver for 25
5 years. I see.
wedding, and 50 years is gold.
But is confetti for dessert or just like candy for anything?
The initial tradition is for good luck,
As a gift.
as a gift during the ceremonies. The confetti are put in the basket
Yes.
or in the trays during the meal, the lunch, the dinner. But as you can see from our packaging, now the confetti are
For any occasion.
any occasion or per personal consumption. Any occasion is good to eat our confetti.
Wiliam continues to innovate and come up with unique flavors.
Cubano is our most sold product. The mix is rum, cinnamon, almonds, and white chocolate. So if you want to taste
I want to try.
Okay.
Perfect. Very good.
Showing incredible artistry and value for tradition, these symbolic sweets will surely continue to be part of Italy's rich culture for centuries to come. In the next few days, I continue to discover Abruzzo, exploring the historic hilltop village of Pacentro and Scano, considered as some of the most beautiful and historic towns in Italy.
This has been your captain, Joy Roa. See you in the next Asian Air Safari.